volunteering. I'm like, I gotta run.
I run through the field.
And I was gonna walk, but I was like, I don't got time to walk.
It's too hot to walk right now. Good evening. This is the Bunganut Pond Committee meeting. We'll go left to right for our roll call.
Kevin Fair.
Holly Hart.
Michelle Felicetti.
Holly Woolridge.
Liz Mitchell.
So good to see everybody. I sent out the agenda and I don't even know what I put on it. Isn't that funny? So I think the first thing was, I think, Holly and Holly to talk about the Boy Scouts. Because I might have some stuff that goes along with it too.
Colin brought by his proposal
Oh, nice.
for his trail project. That's what he's gonna do for his Eagle project.
Mhm.
And so he's got that complete. Holly signed it off. And now he needs to go before the board. I don't remember what they said on time frame. It's in here. He gave us a copy of it. And so he'll go before the Boy Scout, board, council, thank you.
Yeah.
And then they want to get going.
Now, I haven't seen his final mapping. Does it come into the
The map's not in here, but
is it somewhere we have uploaded somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay, it's probably in the
it's the one
drive.
we were looking at the last time.
Okay.
Their trails, the ones that I had mapped out.
Yep.
That we had up on the board last time.
Yep.
Those are the old trails, and he's just gonna redo that to get going.
So those do kind of merge into where the mansion is and stuff like that, so it's kind of.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Because on the comprehensive plan, we were talking from last I knew, the tree harvesting has gone out to bid. And Dave Alves is part of that. And they're planning on doing trails to match what they're dropping. So what I would like to do is give
Say
them.
that again? They're
So
planning to
they're do
trails.
tree harvesting.
Yep.
And Bunganut's one of the areas that's.
Oh, no.
I thought they
No, no,
said
no.
there wasn't any space at Bunganut. That's what Lindsay told me.
No, I think there is some stuff over there, that would match where the trails are coming in, but it'd be done to be trails, not to be slash, there would be no slash, everything would be
That's
mulched
what they
in.
said last time. Did
Yeah.
you
This
see
is-
it when they were done?
I did, but this
They
is
say that
different.
every time. I feel like they say, no, this is
Did
gonna
they
look great, and then.
And I
think-
thought
well, I
they
think
were
Dave
totally
said-
not Bunganut because there wasn't enough that was already harvested.
When I talked to Dave this last meeting, he said there'd be stuff over there would be trails, so I'll check again, to see where it is. I mean, I know when we had our sons, it was totally like walking paths, so there are companies that do go to that level.
I just feel like it totally is interfering with what he has in mind.
Well, I don't think, no, that's why. I
Right now,
wanted-
it is a jungle. It's thick. There are no
Yeah.
trails.
Right,
And I know what is left from after
yeah.
stuff being logged. And his intent was to go through
Yep.
and clear 6 foot wide,
Mhm.
very specific paths through. So I don't want him to be screwed up.
No,
by-
I want to give a copy of that to Dave to make sure, because I think he's part of the
Yeah.
company that's helping kind of guide the whole thing with the select board and helping the town manager. So maybe give him a copy of the prospective mapping that you
Yeah,
have.
I'll get a hold of Dave.
Yeah, check
I
with
want to
them.
see that whole thing anyway. So I'll get a
Yeah,
hold
so
of
bids
Dave
are out,
and-
that's all I know. I don't know what they all are, but I know he was, because one of the things we talked about on comprehensive plan, which is the next thing down, is land trust. Next Thursday that we have comprehensive plan, we have the maps of all the town-owned land.
Yep.
And we're gonna start trying to map out and form things to become part of a land trust.
Okay, great. Who's doing this?
Comprehensive plan with Dave Ellis and then.
Lumped into that?
Mhm.
Okay.
So anyone's welcome. We're just coming and looking at spots and kind of, I have them.
And then
One
those
on that.
spots are those the ones that are gonna be logged and have the trails?
Yes, those
I think
are,
That is great.
but I know Bunganut is on here too, so I mean, you guys can take a peek. I have them here. We got a set. We're not on Thursday. And everything's all listed out, but each map, anything in red is town-owned property. And then this tells you whether it's landlocked, if it's gonna have timber. Some of these are marked for potential fire pond. There's stuff that's already been kind of potentially marked as he's gone through with the Goodwin Mills Fire and Rescue. So it's really kind of neat.
I would love to
Yeah,
look
'cause-
at
I
that
know.
and then.
Is
be
there
a
any
part
that
of
can be more
too.
ball fields?
yeah, no, anyone's welcome to come. We're just laying maps out and looking.
I know them all
Because
super well.
the biggest thing that we're, is comp plan as well, and I know everyone's like, oh my God, you just want to make lots smaller. No, we're looking at, the town does need to expand, but the town needs to also figure out where future facilities are gonna be and put those into like the land trust so they're not touched. And they're there for the town for, and then stuff that's landlocked or tiny, finding a way to get to it, harvest it if they can, and then move on from there. But, so that's happening next Thursday, if anyone's interested in seeing.
Yeah.
That process, because one of our members can't make it, so we decided we'd just look at maps and put Post-its on the maps and kind of do things like that and see, we're, again, also to help us figure out potential grant that could happen with all of this as well. There's so much property.
Interesting. I was just listening to something on that today.
Oh, you were?
And it didn't really, I didn't think pertain to Bunganut as much as the other ones that, it's Land for Maine Future Grant, where you put those, it was cool. And you put
Yeah.
those into, like conservation lands or funds for public use, and it
Right.
was really cool. I'll send you that link.
So one thing, with this committee, if anyone was in.
This Thursday? I'm sorry.
Next
No,
Thursday.
Oh my God, I don't anymore.
I got it on the website.
The 25th.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. So it's kind of neat how it's all kind of melding together. I think it's kind of neat how like a comprehensive plan is happening at the same time as like this trying to get under the way. Because one of the things that, I don't know if everyone was fully aware, but like April, our committee disbands. We're an ad hoc.
It's an ad hoc, yeah.
So the thought process, and this is totally up to you, is for maybe a smaller Bunganut or like big Bunganut committee to come under Parks and Rec. And it would be a subcommittee and just meet under there to continue on. That way Parks and Rec would be the head of it. And then Bunganut's there to do the Bunganut work, and Parks and Rec can keep doing what it's doing. That way it doesn't kind of interfere with, taking up all your time with Bunganut and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So just thoughts out there as we
It's
go
a good
forward.
idea.
And then, so you had the Boy Scouts, and do they have a timeline of when?
I think he said he
He'll
wanted
done
it
by
by November.
November.
By November?
That's his
Oh,
goal.
cool,
Yeah.
nice. Now, how does that work? Is like the whole troop goes out, or is it just literally him?
It's him, but he's planning it, so he'll get volunteers, he'll get donations.
Really?
He'll,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, how old is this kid? I want to meet him.
17.
Almost 18,
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
He has to have it done by the time he's 18.
Oh, yeah. Little deadline, hard deadline. I take it his birthday is November. That's so
So it's
awesome.
exciting, because he's gonna put a kiosk on the side of the, like, kind of
Oh,
across from the
nice.
other trails across the
Yeah.
streets at Emory, so they kind of can
Can
connect.
meld.
And
Nice.
he'll have markers and benches and tables.
Oh, that's so cool.
It should be
That is
fantastic.
so awesome. I can't wait to see that. I think the good thing too is like, I think even like the town itself realizes the need for cameras strategically placed
Very important.
over at Bunganut, and those have been going out, which is very good to protect what is there.
Yeah, I sent an email about the Boy Scout vandalism.
And I think I saw that.
Yeah, but the Boy Scouts, they would rather no one presses charges because they want to take the boy into Boy Scouts and teach him and give him like a
That's awesome.
family, I
Help
guess,
with
that
the
he doesn't
trails.
have. And
Yeah. Get some manual labor.
because he said he was remorseful.
Well,
Like
that's
he felt
good
bad.
though. What a
So
great
he just
thing.
needs people.
He just needs people to show him, point him in the right direction, and there's better things to do with your time versus causing damage.
I was impressed because that's
That's
what
pretty
Boy Scouts
awesome.
should be.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. That is such a testament. That's awesome. Love it. Cool. Well, at least that's a good thing to report. So I'm gonna just make myself a little note because I'll probably forget November is the possible deadline. Do you mind if I
Yeah, I
take this?
got that for
Okay,
you.
thank you.
So Colin is the project manager of it. And so he's responsible for getting volunteers, supplies, estimating money, material, that sort of thing. It's really cool.
That's really awesome.
And he has covered things in here like tools, other needs, permits and permissions, which I didn't even really thought of. I didn't either, but he got
Smart
that
cookie.
covered.
Oh, how exciting, how exciting.
Logistics, yeah. He did a
That's
good job.
nice. Maybe he could
Safety
present when he's
issues.
done, like, maybe he could have like a little.
We could have something there, like to have.
A grand
Like a
opening.
grand opening of the trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe have a little
Yes.
video of him leading the way.
Yeah,
That would be really cool.
we
if
get the
could pull that
community
off.
involved and that would be
Yeah,
fantastic.
I'd like to make it big, like you can contact some newspapers
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That sound kind of fun? Done by November, so we'll
That
just
would be
kind
a
of,
great
if we could,
award for him, like.
if we could kind of keep track of his progress and if we're looking for, if we're gonna meet goal, we could maybe try to do a press
Oh,
release.
yeah. I'm gonna be a volunteer for him, so I will be up to
No, no way.
before November if possible, he said.
All right,
When do you plan to begin carrying out your project? As soon as my project is approved, I'd like to start at the end of the summer and be done by November.
wow, that's ambitious.
I know.
That's some woods.
It's a lot.
That is some
You'll
woods.
get volunteers.
Yeah,
That's really fantastic, though, how
Yeah.
exciting. All right, so I put press release, road cutting, just kind of make it really a big thing. That's really exciting for the town.
Yeah.
Snowshoeing.
Maybe done for winter.
That's what's so great. That's something too, like to talk, because the budget season's already over, but definitely plowing for Bunganut.
I think
Did
we
that
put
get,
it in there.
this year we
I'm
did up
pretty
it
sure
to
we
do more?
put it in. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, I know we talked about it.
Yeah.
So.
I think we did too. I mean, I'm on
I
budget
think so.
committee and I think we
There's
did.
so much
Yeah,
to remember what got put in.
but I think that's where it'd be helpful maybe to have a Bunganut subcommittee, because then we could keep track of things that have to be done over there for, also for Parks and Rec to make sure they're being done. Like even still having a porta potty maybe over there during the winter, it's not like it's out of the question.
I wondered that too.
Once we have a spot for it, we could do that.
I don't know why you couldn't.
If it's plowed,
Yeah,
should be
you
fine.
just need to shovel it out to
Yeah.
open the door, but
Mhm.
rather than people going in the woods or.
I mean, I keep them over here
They're
during the
gonna be
winter.
Yeah.
Snowshoeing or
Yeah.
skating, I'm hoping.
Yeah,
And then nobody wants to lug their kid all the way down there to have to go.
and then have to drive to a store somewhere, hope it's open and where everything closes at 8 now. That's really cool. All right. So I talked to you about the land trust. Like I said, that just came up at our last comp meeting last Thursday. I was like, oh, to mention that to Bunganut. And then when I was listening to that video, I was like, oh my gosh, they did a land trust over in Acton. So that really makes sense to do that.
Grant they were talking about in that YouTube video was both for acquiring land. I think that they acquired, there was private land that was
Yes.
donated.
Yep.
But then there's another portion of it that is for park, sprucing up parks.
Yeah, because they were able to get their town to agree to $100,000 for a project, which I was like, whoa, it's pretty amazing.
In the Acton one, yeah.
So then I got thinking about the $20,000 that we got from the town. So that's what we have to use this year. If I remember correctly, I think it is a non-lapsing account, because I think that's the way we asked Jeanette to set it up, so that if it doesn't get used, we don't lose it back to the pot, it stays there.
I was gonna ask that.
I'm pretty sure we did.
I think I remember you saying that, but I
Yeah.
was wondering that.
And I think on budget committee, I think we did talk about that, is to try to keep Kenny Bunk and Bunganut as non-lapsing. That way the money's there, so if it has to be less funded, that's fine, but you're not losing
Mhm.
money, like sometimes you're forced, like, if you have $5,000, we need to use it or lose it, and it's just a lot of pressure, and you can't always get the services done. So then the question comes, what do we do with $20,000? Now, have any of you ever recently spent the day at Bunganut Pond? I did. I'll tell you after. You tell me if you've been.
A month
We
ago.
were just there in the morning.
We were there in the
And
morning,
people were getting there.
yeah.
Mhm. We've never been there,
A
like,
month ago I was there for the day.
for the day
Yeah,
with kids.
but it was, yep.
Yeah.
It wasn't busy yet.
Yeah. Even though it was hot, right?
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
swimming.
There's also a post, unfortunately, on Biddeford Community about Bunganut, and it's not a compliment.
Oh, I'd love to read it.
Yeah, I found that came up, someone was asking for places to go with their kids to swim. And being there with David Aiden, he wound up stepping on a root that was sticking out and cutting his foot open.
Oh.
We had people that decided to lay their towels out on the metal stairs, women, grown women, to sit and chat, so you had to squeeze past them, and had all their kids pile their shoes on the other side. That was fun. And so there's no easy way to get into the lake at that point. And then to get in and out of steps, all our kids were playing right there, which is like, okay. It's like, there's other places to go. Very congested. And then there was another handicapped woman that had a very hard time on the slash. She was with her mom who was elderly, and it took her a very long time to get places.
So you were right by the main stairs, the
Mhm.
big stairs? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were down.
Those are the best spots, are the ones that are down, not straight ahead.
Yeah.
I've always had the same experience over there, besides cutting the foot. But it's always crowded by the stairs, and there's always kids playing by
Yep.
the stairs.
But I think there should be a sign, no lounging on the steps. That should be common sense to someone who's in their 30s, but apparently it's not. I felt bad for the woman, and she was, an older, not older, she was probably in her 20s or 30s, that was mentally challenged, and that, that's a difficulty for her.
Yeah.
But that's the only way she can get in and out, too, with her mom. And I just thought, people just move. And then it was funny, because then it's so hot right there. And then it was funny, because then I saw today
Yeah,
on
today,
Facebook, did you see
the
that?
wife posted.
I know,
Come
like
down.
people,
Like, what a
To beat the
beautiful
heat.
place.
what a beautiful, and they're showing the grills and the pine trees and
Yeah.
the shade. I'm like,
Outdated picture.
It's weird that you mentioned that, because I did the same thing today, and then I read that post,
I didn't see it.
and then I
wanna
think I
look.
went to the town page to look at the description of how it was described, and I thought, I want to tweak that a little, because it
I wanna
boasts
look.
horseshoe pits and
They need a
grills,
little
and I
work.
thought Vicky ripped the
And I thought-
grills out.
yeah, there's
guess
only
so.
one left down in the
So we might
pines.
want to alter the description of it. I wouldn't mention the horseshoe pits or anything yet,
No.
not yet.
This is, Liz, this
What
is
was
the
it? What page was it on?
the Sanford YMCA. That's the picture they're showing, which was like before all the pine trees fell down and all the
So
grills were
pretty.
there. But
That
there's
is
no,
pretty.
and there, because look at where the steps are. So you're like here, and all that shade, there's no,
Yeah.
and it's kind of the blazes of hell out there. And it's just
You
really
look.
rough on the feet and hard. There was, and there were some people that were sitting on the last picnic bench behind us. Because I figured, okay, I'm gonna get a feel of everyone. I see people sliding down the hill, still coming down the hill with those phone there, and almost wiping out a few times. A lot of them came around, and then there was a younger couple that sat to our right, and then they were going to the water and here, I shouldn't laugh. As they're making their way in the water, trying to walk over the slash. It's
In the
really
water,
trying to get to it
Oh.
because it's all,
outside of the water. But
Mhm.
okay, yeah.
and they're fine, but
Yeah.
it is really, we need to do something about it. The terrain.
Hmm.
The pines isn't bad. We do need some stairs that go in. I've asked for an estimate twice on those and I haven't gotten that.
Who did you ask on that?
I
meant to
asked,
send you a-
I guess
Link.
Tom Proto had installed the big ones.
Oh,
I think they came from Sanford somewhere. Jeanette just asked for a date so she could look it up in their system to try to find the pricing. And I still haven't heard anything, so I'll chase that down again.
I keep getting a ad, in Facebook Marketplace for aluminum stairs, and it's for custom made ones, and the guy is out of Kennebunk.
It might be those ones, because he said it was out of Sanford, so maybe it was like the
Yeah,
same company, and those were custom made, because he installed them there.
yeah, okay.
I'll
I'll send you the link, and maybe it's the same guy.
Yeah, and maybe we could, maybe they have a memory of creating those steps, just to have an estimate to give
Right.
is all I want.
Yep.
Because I think like goals like that, like getting steps in this year, if we could have them in by the end of the year or customized and done for the end of the year. Simple improvements that you can see. My biggest pet peeve is the below water bog. What's your thoughts on solutions? no amount of diverting anything is gonna change.
Right.
Yeah.
I had another idea on that, that might help with, other issues with, no shade there now.
Right,
Put in some clumps of river birch and weeping willows that love water and will grow fast to create some shade. And might also, cover the offset for losing the pine trees.
mhm,
You plant a line of those trees in that, because you can see in the springtime, there's like 3
The water.
lines of the low spots where the water just is creating its own little troughs.
mhm.
If you plant some trees in there, they will soak up all the water, grow pretty quickly, and create some shade. That might be another option than trying to fill the whole area.
And if it's 75 feet back from the water, so if Phil could be brought in, what's the thought processes on that? Anybody?
My opinion would be to hire someone to.
But
I don't know what I'm
sand or
doing.
grass or, yeah, this is all.
Yeah.
Way
to
back
paid
there, I would
services.
think grass.
See, oh, well,
Way
where?
back, like in the
Back?
wet spot,
Mhm.
yeah.
Grass.
Yeah,
So a lot of gravel and then some loam for grass.
I was able to get out there the day before they opened, so I got some shots to figure out the topography, and I did a rough estimate. If we were to fill that
Mhm.
low spot in about a foot,
Yeah,
first you'd strip away the topsoil,
Right.
save it, put down some good, like not quite beach sand, but sand that will drain, not
Mhm.
clay or anything like that. And then
Right.
repurpose the topsoil on top of that. About a foot of fill through there would, I think I came up with some crazy number. So it's like $5,000 to $6,000 worth of fill for sand.
and this to have someone do it or just the amount for the film?
That's just for the fill, and then whatever the equipment would cost.
After listening to that YouTube video, my thought was, could we use that money that we've got to go for a grant that'll match it? And then go forward with hiring whoever, a landscape architect or an engineer for the specific projects that we want. And the engineering costs are also included in that matching. So we would get reimbursed.
Mhm.
Um,
Are we going to need a survey before we have a landscape architect or engineer? That's always
I'm
been
under
my
the impression that it would
understanding.
be for the specific, like, okay, we want to do a new road down there.
Yeah.
And then so the engineering firm would be responsible for doing that portion of it and completing the design, and then we would bid it out for having somebody complete it. But I don't think we need, we've got the boundary,
Yeah,
that's valid,
I don't
right?
know why we need a survey. I don't quite understand the
Like, it
obsession with
depends on
needing
the
that.
project.
I think if we prioritize, I would say like
Yes.
the area around the steps.
Yeah.
And
And the bog,
The
yeah,
bog
the
and
bog
the new path
and-
coming down.
and where the pines used to be, that whole area needs to be fixed, erosion wise,
Yep.
foot traffic wise, for safety,
Yes.
all that. I
Like
think that should
grind
be a-
down the stumps that are sticking out, so,
Yeah.
because actually, you guys were with us when one of the people from the town tripped over a stump and went straight down?
Mhm.
Yeah, we were walking along and there was we were going towards the Y side. And the root system is so big over there. We were all just talking 1 minute and she's not a young woman. 1 minute she's talking and next thing she's face down.
oh no.
And it's right in the path. It wasn't like she was walking in the woods. I mean, stuff like that does need to be ground down for safety. No doubt. So my forte is not companies like that. So what kind of company around here does that stuff?
Missy gave me the name. ATTAR in Elliott and Acorn Engineering in Portland are the ones that she's worked with in the past that were good. And she said they were good because they knew the environmental aspects as well as
So
like
the
the
laws that we have
civil,
to follow.
stormwater, soil
Yeah,
profiles, all that
anything
stuff.
on the shoreline.
You're gonna need someone that has
Right.
that experience.
And they may even come out for free and,
They probably would.
yeah.
You know, especially if we're gonna use them over and over
Right.
again, it's quite a sizable project we're looking at.
But
And, like-
starting small, like, okay,
With
say, when is it most used? Summer. So what do we need to focus on? Things that are used in the summer. So let's focus on the water, the steps, whatever it is, handicap accessible, whatever that may be in that area is probably the smartest
And then it
thing.
would be a visible change for people
Exactly.
to see, because the thing that was said is like, you know, there's no beach there, it's junk to walk on, you have to pay this much, there's really, it's so hot, there's no shade, just a lot of things, and the pines are built, you know, so just not
No one's gonna want to donate any money if they can't see tangible like effort
Correct.
being put in.
correct. So as far as getting a matching
Flash
grant, Holly, what's your thought process on that?
I think I was going to contact Dave Beck, who's the Land and Water Conservation, who's the head of, well, according, I don't actually know the date on that YouTube video, but at that time, he was the head of that Land and Water Conservation
Mhm.
Fund. And they have, they also said that they had a state liaison officer for grants that can recommend grants for your specific project.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Do you want to try to track those down
I
then
will.
before next meeting?
I'll start with him.
I think it'd be nice, trying to think what I have going on this week, should be okay. I can reach out to Atar and Acorn Engineering and see if we can get, the only thing I can't do is I can't meet them during the day. So I don't know if anyone else is available during the day. I can't take work off to come do that.
Most Fridays I can.
Most Fridays you can,
Mhm.
all right. And maybe Karen can when she's back, or if you're around, we'll figure. I'll just see if they can meet us and see what they have for
Mhm.
availability for a run through. And I think, I do, the miniature grant would be really cool, especially if the engineering is gonna be reimbursed off that, would be awesome.
Mhm.
I think seeing something tangibly done on that side to get us started on the right path.
That's what they recommended. They said, it's okay, you've got some money to work with. And first steps would be to seek out an engineering company, or they said a design or a landscape architect, and go
Mhm.
from there.
All right.
In my
Sounds-
head, it seems like an engineering company would be better at like focusing on one area, where I think if we went landscape architect, they're gonna look at the whole picture, and I don't think we're ready for
I
that.
don't think we are either. I think you're right. I think right now it's maybe small projects here and there that are, like I said, maybe next year we get the extra parking lot or more parking lot on the field side. Like baby steps where we can see
Yeah.
things we can do. Where we know, like if we can get an estimate, I think I asked Rusty to get an estimate, how much for that, and I haven't heard from him. So maybe that's where funds could go, and maybe there's matching grants for that as well for sports and kids, and
Oh, yeah.
that gives us time to look into it. And in the meantime, if you're on board with Bunganut being a subcommittee underneath, talking to the town manager about that happening so we can continue on with the efforts of grants. And then picking little projects for these grants where we can maybe get matching funds or get stuff done.
Yep.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yep. Yeah, and once I think you have like a liaison that works with you as you're going through the grant process, that
Yeah.
works for the state. So they're kind of not holding your hand, but they're,
Well, maybe helping you
Guiding you in
meet
the
the deadline
direction.
so you don't miss a deadline.
it sounds pretty complicated, but I think it's totally doable. People-
Yeah.
All towns around us have done this
I know.
for.
I know. Yeah. What was it? Hollis just got a really big grant, like 2 million or something crazy.
Town hall or something.
Well, Joe said he wrote grants all the time. New select board member.
I
So-
feel
Well,
like
you
there's
have
enough
two,
people in
right?
this town to figure out writing a
You
grant.
wrote grants too? Or
I've done it
dabbled?
for the library.
You've done it for the library?
The resources
I
on the
feel like we
webpage
can
are
handle
so
writing a
good.
grant more than like spending all the money we have on an architect.
Right. Yeah.
And there's fall workshops. I noted that.
Oh,
They
good.
have
Fall work.
workshops in the fall.
Oh, that's,
Yeah, they'll have, I think you need to have somebody come out and do, for this particular one, you have to have somebody come out and do a pre-site, a site inspection, just to make sure that you can go forward with your
Right,
application.
because they have to make sure that it's
And then
a
there's
governmental
workshops
thing and not,
Yeah,
you know, and I know a lot of it will depend too what the happens with the town with Y, because I think their contract's up in October as well. So they're gonna start figuring out what they're gonna do too.
right.
Oh, yeah.
That'll change things maybe.
I mean, there's so much to think and to do, and like I said, look into, did you guys see the new, because I was like, that's what we need. The new toilets they're installing in Portland?
I saw you.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
You
I was
sent
like-
me the link. And
Yeah, I was like, we need to find out how much those cost.
Yeah.
They have this new toilet with the need, because there's been a lot of, as you can imagine, people not using potties like they should in Portland. I won't tell you what one of my coworkers saw on the way in.
Oh, man. Was that Deering Oaks? Is that where it was?
She just looked over and there's a bag and there he is, and
Oh, yeah. Was that at Deering Oaks Park? Because
I
I've
think so.
experienced the same thing over there.
yeah,
as
so they
well.
have the vault restroom.
Vault,
heard of
that's what
that?
it was.
So I thought that would be kind of cool. So it's a new vault restroom, they're portable toilets in Kings Court and Deering Park. And they're gonna place them all over, but the toilet tanks are in so it's like a tank they put in the ground, but it's like metal. So like the destruction level will be pretty,
Oh, the building itself. I mean, we have the pad and the tank.
well, and that's
We
just
need
it. So
inspected.
what I'm curious is how does that work during the winter? So these are questions I have.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know much about a vault toilet.
No, neither do I. But they're metal restrooms, they're ADA accessible, easy to clean, and has improved ventilation. And who doesn't love that, right?
Hmm.
Because when you look over at Bunganut and the porta potties or the Blazing Sun,
Oh,
that's the
yeah.
last place you want to go. Or you're like, ew.
By the way, the porta potties at Bunganut.
Oh dear.
No, down where we had thought we saw poison ivy,
Yeah,
it's not poison ivy. So I don't know what it was that, I could have sworn it was when we were there doing our walk around. But I took a good look at it the other day and I don't see any poison ivy. And I also
I
walked
know.
around the volleyball court again. So I
So
don't know what it
those are all
was that we
the-
saw.
new toilets they have.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I know, right? So vault toilets. So I'm gonna dabble a little bit on vault toilets, people.
I know too.
Yeah.
No,
Because I just think, it's also one less expense that you're hauling in, hauling out. It just needs to be pumped. You're probably gonna hold more than a porta potty.
Is that how they pump it? They don't,
Yeah,
okay.
so you're still gonna have someone come with a hose and pump it, but you could use a pressure washer for the rest of it and then not have to get near entertaining things.
Something like that goes along with having somebody that works for the town there
yeah.
all the time.
Yep, and that's something that I talked to the town manager about, and she's really realizing, they need someone like a small public works department, because even like
Mm-hmm.
if they need a doorknob fixed here,
Mm.
they have to call companies, and they're at the mercy of someone coming
Oh
in to
my
install a doorknob.
gosh.
Because there is no handyman
Well,
at all.
that's
I
crazy.
told Mike, I'm like, you're almost 60,
Yeah.
You're 60 next year, you could do this for a time.
Yeah.
But there's no handyman to
Why
do
didn't see
anything.
handymans?
They're at the
We know a
mercy of,
couple, yeah.
anything. You need a window installed, they have to hire a
Right.
company versus someone that
That's
just. can come and do it.
crazy.
So I think that is something the town's looking to do.
I guess I never realized that. I
Who's
thought
been
that,
doing it?
Ye-
Like, they've always gone out and tried and had to hire. Hasn't there been somebody?
Brad
that
did
just
a lot
did
of
it?
it.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Brad did a
Yeah.
lot. I mean, he did a ton. He
Yeah.
like the plowing, he
Right.
gave so much to community. Brad was
You're
such a good soul.
Yep.
But now that leaves a big gap of nobody able to, or has the equipment or the experience to do it, And that's where, again, like with the land trust and looking at land, finding a place for public works that works within the realm of everything is gonna be laid out. I guess there's a parcel not far behind like where the transfer station is, we're looking at. But
And we were talking, I know we've talked pickleball courts and basketball courts and so forth, and even the volleyball
that's
court.
10-year plan.
And that takes a
stuff.
lot of maintenance, those things,
Mm-hmm.
repainting and sealing and all that stuff.
Yeah, you need a public works department
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, because I think even probably Alfred has one. I mean, they have the courts, they have all that stuff over there too.
Mhm.
They must have some kind of public works department.
I don't know. Not
Or
sure.
maybe they just have a company they hire when they need the
They might
basketball
have like
courts done.
full-time parks and rec, I'm not sure what.
They
the
think
rec
they have
situation
full-time
is.
parks and rec.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, somehow they make it work. They make it
Yeah.
happen.
Same with Waterboro and Friendship Park.
Yeah,
And I'm not sure exactly how they're set up over there.
yeah, they have a public works department, as you know, as Waterboro does. Like even like Leamington, they must have something, because they have a huge rec program in their waterfront.
Mm.
And things like that. I don't know if you've seen there, and they have a building and everything for all their rec programs. It's pretty
That's
cool.
nice.
They have a really nice, like, I would love to sit down with someone over there and see how they did it and field trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that on here, if anyone ever has time.
I'm writing it down.
Well, I think about, there's that pad over there at Bunganut that's just empty. And granted, I know during the summer it's near the Y camp, but the pad's just sitting there. It's calling for a building.
Mm.
It's a good size,
It is good.
it could start out where it's just framed in. And then, you add insulation and things as you go. More rustic and get it done, or find grants to do it, to facilitate the building,
Mhm.
But it's already there.
What was it
Mhm.
for?
My understanding is there was a building, a former select board member from many years ago, saw him at the Christmas party, and he said that there was a building there, I don't know what it was for. And it started to get dilapidated, and they tore it down, and there was funds to rebuild,
Hmm.
but he doesn't know where those funds went. I think it was
Crazy how
another-
that stuff just disappears.
I know, isn't it? It's shocking. So, how do you not know where it went? I'm sure it went somewhere. It was one of those
Somewhere.
things, they needed it somewhere else and diverted it to whatever issue happened, but I don't know how long it's been there. Long time.
Long time.
Yeah, so this was a long time ago, but I've never seen a building there in my time living here. And I've been here 13 years.
And there wasn't one there when that other building was built.
Oh,
It was-
really?
No.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So they poured that pad to build that there?
I think it might have already been there.
So there was already 2 pads there?
Oh,
I think so. I'd have to ask my husband because he built that building, but I think it was already there.
Oh, wow. That's so strange. Yeah, I don't get it. Anywho,
I know. They were for something.
I don't know what those pads are for. Well, like, you just wonder what was there, because at one point that was Army Corps, the whole park was. It was, because and then that one being given to the town in whatever year it was.
what was the building your husband built for? The Y?
Mhm.
Oh,
It
it was.
wasn't for the Y, it was for the town.
Oh,
It originally was for the Y and Parks and Rec. We used it a lot. and
Oh,
then
really?
it got kind of.
wow.
Jake Radcliffe, the main guide, contacted me today. He had submitted paperwork to Jeanette to be able to, offer, events through Parks and Rec
Mhm.
under his guide license. So he's good to go. And he was asking about, getting started with just one little program at a time, one little event at a time.
Mhm.
But using a building over there kind of like as a base if it were
Mhm.
raining or whatever. And I told him that I would have to talk to you about, because I don't know how,
We
Are
can,
we-
once the Y is done with it, like the season is done.
can we use it in the evening when they're not there.
They said we could, but we would have to double check because
That's
Yeah.
crazy if you can't use it
He
at
would like
all.
to meet me over there
No way.
within the next week to take a look and to see where he could like get some ideas where he might be able to
we
host.
could
Like
use
this
the
spot would be
concession
great
stand
for.
across the street
Yep.
at the soccer field.
I also thought maybe Boy Scouts would entertain the idea more than the why.
Yeah.
But
But
again,
that's the town building.
I know.
How much just, it's a town building.
I don't
Well,
know.
you have the chapel, but then you're subject to the weather.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't even need it, so I'll meet with him and he can get an idea of what kind of facilities he needs for whichever events he wants to do first, and then.
Yeah, it depends on the
Go
event,
from
because we
there.
could always put like a pop-up tent and some picnic tables together, depending on what it is.
Yeah, Yeah.
And a couple first.
it might be
steps.
something where, he would want to start inside with like a little display, he's got his skins and
Or whatever.
skulls, and then he's gonna
Mhm.
go, and they'll go out into the woods and do whatever.
Mhm. Yeah.
I just didn't know how the use of the building was. What was
We'll
it
have to
at?
find out when, and then I can find out if
I
we
will-
can.
I mean, my understanding, their concern was the records.
Yes,
But they're locked in a cabinet, so there shouldn't be a concern.
that was my thought, but we will see.
Would the building be available, would it be available for us to look inside so he can just check it out when we did a walkthrough? Or no?
I have keys, I don't know if we can just go look, I can ask
Yeah.
if she can check
I
with
don't see
them.
why you couldn't.
I don't see why
Park
not,
your cars.
I don't see why not, we wouldn't touch anything.
Right.
It would be after camp, we do it at night.
Yeah.
I told them, and I pulled up the website and it says 9 to 5, they're typically there, right? During weekdays.
Yeah, I think so.
So
It's,
I don't know why you couldn't.
you are Parks and Rec. Parks
I
and
don't
Rec.
know what the
And-
contract is with the Y in terms of the building.
Who knew, right?
Oh, Lordy, save me.
Yeah, it just would be, because I mean, it'd be really cool to have stuff. I mean, even if you do like fly fishing for women, I mean, the stuff I'm paying to do at Funky Bow, I won't tell you how much I'm paying to do it. I'm having lots of fun. But it's like,
What are you doing?
what am I doing?
Yes.
Painting things? I'm doing sea glass
You
things.
know they had stuff.
Oh, I saw the
I can show
painting.
you my
I thought you
stuff.
meant like outdoorsy stuff.
Oh, no, but you could, but I would pay to do
Crafts and
outdoorsy
stuff, yeah.
You know, but you could, women will pay
I'd
to
say,
get out, let me just tell you. So, just saying, mama likes to make it out. But I mean, it's like is it Newfield is sip and paint with Sue?
Yeah.
I
Mm.
tried, I
Did do
couldn't
that.
find
Oh
anyone
my
who would
God, that was so
do
much
it
fun
here.
though, but you do need a DD, depending how well you want to paint, I suppose. That was super fun though, but it was really hot in their building, but they have a building.
I was gonna say, is that, okay, so that was through the rec building, or was that like at her studio or
No, it was at
something?
their building, at the rec
Hmm.
building.
Was she
and
willing
then-
to travel?
Well, I know there's one in Waterboro. And the people that do the one at Funky Bow and do stuff there, they're from Sanford.
Hmm.
They have a own little shop and they bring everything.
Because I tried contacting someone, she never got back to me.
I think we've tried
We've tried it
multiple
multiple
years, and
times,
we've got a
yeah,
lot of
and
no's.
we just can't, yeah,
wow.
Yeah. Just gotta find someone local that wants to do it
that's
too.
what we need. to do,
Yeah.
Find someone in town that wants to do it, make a little extra money and have a little fun. I mean, and just, because everyone keeps talking community and that's, I think, there's community like with moms and you get to know each other from sports and your kids in school, but then after that, it's kind of like, what do you do?
Mhm. Yeah, you're right.
You're kind of like, where do you go? And
Yeah, you come to our concert in the park.
on Thursdays, I can't. That's just it. I'm like, why does it have to be Thursday? I can do Fridays. I can't do Thursdays.
Waterboro's Friday.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
we have.
man. Yeah, because I have,
Track.
I usually have
Yeah,
comprehensive
me.
Yeah,
plan,
but
and then we have other stuff going on, so it's like I try to squeeze in other stuff. But I have been sharing, I told my parents, like, when you go to that. So yeah, I guess stuff like that, just start getting community together, which is what everyone talks about, but I had fun doing it, Funky Bowl. It's good beer though, and pizza.
yeah.
I mean, technically that is Lyman, so it is
Yeah.
community.
It
It's
is.
still community.
I run, but
We
a lot of
can't give you
people that-
beer and pizza, so.
But if you do sip and sign, I can bring my own, right? See?
Yeah, we can do pizza.
I will settle for Triscuits and bring my own.
Triscuits and cheese.
That's right. I'd be a happy girl, as long as I'm not cooking. But yeah, it's really cool he's able to do that. But like, does he have certain things like planned already, like projects he wants to do and?
He has worked with homeschool groups in the past, so
Mhm.
he's got a whole, lineup of classes that he does with the kids.
Nice. Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I know Aiden
He
liked
does
the
skins and
birdhouse.
skulls, a skins and skulls demo, fire
Ooh.
building, outdoor cooking, tree identification,
Oh, yeah.
kayaking, canoeing,
That's cool.
Oh,
first aid
nice.
type of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
really cool to offer that to the kids
Mm-hmm.
and be able to do it in Bunganut.
Yep.
Because I mean, like,
So,
the more you think about
it's
over there, like,
approved.
no trees and bogs, and you're like, phew. But then we realize you only have to be 75 feet back, like, clearings could happen where people could have picnic benches in the woods and have a cozy place to
over
sit and
there.
hang and things like that, and start spreading it down the middle out.
Mhm.
There was a lot of people down at the Y area swimming when we went. It was it a Saturday we went? But it wasn't very busy, which I was surprised because it was hot.
Oh, it was not a weekday. It was this.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
No, so there was a lot of people with younger kids down the other end, but I think again, it's so closed in, people don't realize they can go down there.
Mm.
You know, and I guess the bridge is a little sus, going back and forth.
I was always misled by the signs when my kids were little about the Y signs. Even on the weekends, I thought that was off limits too. I thought it was strictly for the Y. Even on the weekends, I didn't know.
Yeah, well, I think it needed to be signed
So
better,
maybe, yeah.
so people know they can go down there. Or maybe when people are, someday it would be nice to have a little map you hand to someone when they come in, or a map on the side of the kiosk, so people know
That would be
what's available. Or like
Right.
the path before you go
That would
down,
be ideal.
showing
Yeah.
like shallow, easy for
Mhm.
kiddies, watch it, this type of thing, and no lounging on the deck and, things like that, but just things like that, so that's all I had. Anyone else?
Is that all I had in the email? Trails and grants.
There's nothing you could put on that deck to prevent people from sitting there.
Just a sign or something, and that's just it, like someone to be there to man the place.
Right.
Like, and then the other sad thing too, and I felt really bad, is the handicapped woman that was there. She went and sat at a table ahead of us, and we were back here, and Aiden and Mike had taken off for the water. She comes back and put trash on the picnic table we were sitting. She was collecting all the trash on the ground that people had left. And so I just, thank you so much, I'll take care of that, and just
Mhm.
took it and put it in a bag to take care of. But she just found all these plastic toys and junky
Yeah.
stuff that would been left there and was picking up. So they do need someone patrolling, and picking up and, saying, hey, no drinking down here, no adults down here, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of dogs, that was another thing I was gonna mention, to propose to the select board for next year, pre-park hours and after park hours, dog time,
Mm.
to people to be able to take their dog down.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is everyone
Like the
okay with
beach.
that?
Yeah.
Because I know my dog was out of the poor thing. But that way, again, cameras, maybe you have the pooper scooper bowls with bags to
Yeah.
take care of things like that, so, but to really make it welcoming to our residents.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest thing is people saying, I want to take my dog, where can I take my dog?
Yeah.
I think if we could say before park hours and after park hours, I think that would be a big draw.
Mhm.
So, because there was a big debate online about the hours for the Y in the park. Does anyone know
Oh,
what
I
they are?
saw that. There was conflicting info or something. Or someone
It
told them
says 9,
something
it says
different
9
than
to
the
8 on the
website.
website.
Oh, did they change it or are they doing 7?
I think they're doing 7.
Yeah.
It
It's always
had
been 9
a
to 7.
caveat, did I hear you say that? It said,
It says not, it says 8 or
9 to
dusk.
or
We need to
before
update
or
that
something
then.
instead.
Either
Where?
stay till 8 or change it.
Yeah.
So. So our website for the Channel Line, it says hours are 9 a.m. to the earlier of 8 p.m.
Yeah.
or dusk.
What does that mean? To
The earlier of 8 p.m.
I think that kind of leaves them some wiggle
So it
room.
means
does.
it's not after 8 if it's just after 8.
I don't know.
What? That's not even.
Like, oh,
It should-
Lordy
yeah,
Jesus, help me.
it should say
Um,
7.
So,
Yeah.
I
yeah,
like 8 o'clock, but if the line's leaving at 7, then it should be 7.
right. And again, that would be good for doggy hours because people would have an hour.
Yeah.
After 7 to bring their dog out to dog hours, pre-9. And no one's manning it, so just they're gonna go and be with their dog, you know?
Yeah.
And then off season,
Yeah.
Then off-season, what would you suggest?
Open.
Whatever?
whenever.
Yeah.
But on
Off
leash.
season, on leash, oh, yes.
All right. Okay. I'll propose
That's kind
that.
of like the beaches do, they do off season, you can go whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I know my dog would not like the waves. The sound would bug her. She's not afraid of fireworks, but put her near an ocean, she's like, not going. So, and I think that would be like a really good thing to advertise to the residents, because I think a lot of people ask about that.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think that it's important, the trails are gonna be open to dogs,
Yeah.
is my
Yes.
understanding.
Yes.
Snowshoeing and everything, bring your dog and all that. On leash.
No fun walking those trails without your dog.
I know. They need it too, protection too, right? Get the exercise in, awesome. All right, and then even during, now for the trails, was anyone thinking that they have to be the before and after, or just all time trails, our dogs are allowed?
I think all
I think so too.
Mhm.
dogs are allowed. I think, yeah,
All right.
makes them angry
I
people.
see very few places that say no.
No
Leave
dogs,
your
They-
pets
they
at
do
home.
say
Yeah.
on leash, which I
Yeah.
do think that's important.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do just for kicks and giggle too is I'm gonna get pricing on dog stations for the hoodie bags and drop
Yeah.
boxes.
Those can't be
They're
too.
not that much, there is actually one over there that really doesn't get used, we could probably take it.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Who empties that thing?
I'm not sure, I saw it full the other day, and I'm like, I guess I gotta bring a trash bag.
And again, these are things
But
though
it's like
that,
in the woods, I'm surprised
Yeah.
anyone even uses it.
but that's good though,
Oh,
they're
wow.
using it and not letting their dog go.
Yeah, it's true.
I was
But
like
it
driving down the
wasn't that
highway, it's
much,
hanging on
it
the back
wasn't very
windshield.
much money, I don't believe.
Okay, cool. And then, well, I mean, again, that leads to the question of whoever is manning Bunganut will be the ones to pick it up, just like they were in charge of cleaning up the grills.
Right.
And the
Yeah.
charcoal,
Just
so
empty it
just
and
part
throw it
of
back.
trash removal is all it is. With
Mhm.
whoever's manning it. That's my thought process anyways.
Probably not the whole trail system unless you only have one at the start.
Probably one at the start.
Okay,
is
then
my-
yeah.
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 Then if you have one on the beach side and one on the
Mm-hmm.
trail side, that's
Yeah,
minimal.
one down every,
It's not hard.
the water and then one up top
Yeah.
and the trails and stuff like that, and then you'd be all set. I know people bring their dogs to games and stuff like that, but I don't think I would put one to encourage.
No.
No,
Because
because
it's
they're not
difficult.
supposed
No.
to.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's difficult when people bring dogs that are not well behaved, around kids.
Maybe in the future, once all the trails are established and tied to across the street and everything, look at maybe having a parking area over on the Williams Road.
Yeah,
At those two spots we had talked about,
Yeah.
the clearing that's already there, up by the Brock Road intersection. For, specifically for the trails and be a good spot if you have a dog too, rather than bring the dog into the parking lot.
so maybe have a little doggy park, a small one or something like that.
Not
in that area.
Not necessarily a park, but just another option for the trail use,
Well, you can
especially if you got a
go-
dog and stuff.
If you get parking for the ball fields, on the Sid Emery side,
Mm.
you know, there's
Yeah,
those
that's where they
trails.
would park or park at the Sid Emery parking lot and walk across.
I did go in there and I cleared the quarry loop. It was, what was that crazy storm we had? The wind,
Oh, yeah.
everything snapped. When was that? April?
Oh, gosh, it was crazy.
Anyways, we cleared that and put blazes in the trees.
Oh, nice.
So I want that to connect with the Bunganut side.
Mhm.
Um,
That'd be really nice to have some nice big signs and have it all mapped out. It'd be really cool. Hopefully
It's all ready to go.
It should be visible, I assume, once the leaves are all off and take a nice picture and draw it out. That'd be really cool.
Mhm.
We'll have to hit up Kevin for the aerial photograph of the map system. That'll be really cool. All right, so I'll get pricing on dog stations. Talked about dogs. David Beck, were you gonna be in touch with David Beck, Holly?
Doug Beck, I'm gonna start with him,
All right,
see where that takes me.
and steps out, and I'll do those steps again and ask again.
There's somebody will link to the one I keep seeing. I swear my phone is reading my thoughts because I keep getting this one for a custom made aluminum stairs. and I'm like, I don't
Isn't that funny?
need them except for that Bunganut.
Excuse me. So, and Holly, I'll just leave it to you as to kind of, when the Boy Scouts are getting kind of close to that, and to maybe make it a really big deal. Get the town really advertising it and get some local articles, see if anyone wants to come and interview him. Because a lot of times the papers will do that. If you call them up, they'll come and interview people, if you ask for a press release and stuff like that. That'd be really cool. Oh, even like the reporter would cover that. They'd love to
Oh, yeah.
be part of that and have them probably on.
Yeah, I can see that in the report.
You know them?
No,
No.
but I
Oh.
can see it, you know,
Yeah.
as that would, I can see that being in there, that type of thing for sure.
Is it better for Journal Tribune still around, or if I lost my mind?
No
You
idea.
know, I don't think so.
I don't think it is either.
I don't think so.
Isn't it awful? I think the Portland Press Herald is being renamed too. So I'll put those there, just,
There's also the reporter for the Seacoast Online.
Mm,
He
Oh,
posts
yeah.
local articles a lot.
that's true.
okay.
I think it's Sean Sullivan or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I'm just gonna put the news stations anyways. I mean, if you're doing a blast, you just blast them all. And if someone shows up, they do.
Mm.
They don't, but maybe someone will have a feel-good story. After all the other crap we have to watch on the news. Yeah, so I think that's great. I think the biggest thing was always wondering, can we do any of this without a survey? I never really understood that. So,
I think it depends on the project.
yeah, I think where we're just doing things that really don't have a, you know,
Yeah.
if you're bringing in fill, it's not really like gonna change the world if it has to be moved a little for something to happen down the road. You're not losing all this money, you're not out.
No, it's definitely part of the park, that little section.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think again, we're coming down, you're coming down visually where, you know, some of those posts that are there probably need to be removed too, that type of thing to.
Yeah.
But-
But I think that's really gonna be where that an engineer would be so helpful, because I know,
Right.
I have a feeling when you take those things out,
You're gonna need water diversion.
it's gonna erode so bad.
They would have to do like, what are they called? Swellbacks.
Oh, yeah, those
Oh, the water
those
bars.
things.
Mhm.
Yeah, water
Yeah.
bars.
Yeah, which would still work when you wanted to do sledding during winter, so it would still would work. So that type of stuff, and it'd be nice to have a company just come in and do it.
Yep.
And have it done right.
Yep.
We don't have to worry about that. And that's basically what we're looking for the engineering company to do. We're looking for
Oh,
the low area, the path.
Another thing they kind of talked about in there too, I think they would be able to help us possibly identify other sources of income too. So we can get a little bit more, start with a little bit more than the 20. But they have, you know, they do have contacts with donors who, that's what happened at the one in, I think it was Acton.
Yeah, that's right.
Somebody came in
Yeah.
with like $300,000 and said, I want to go make this park better, or for whatever
wanna float
reason,
right
some
on
people are
in.
looking to throw money out for donations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're
But
out
if we
there.
get the more money that we start with,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
more we'll end up with the match. So I don't know if
Exactly.
there's other ways we can fundraise, or
I think we're gonna have a hard time fundraising locally until we have any tangible
Mhm.
proof that we're doing
That we
something.
did something with the money that
Yeah.
we did have.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads to where you have the Boy Scouts potentially in the fall. And this like, do we want a fall cleanup or do we want we don't want to wait till spring over there?
Spring.
We're gonna wanna wait till
We're
spring.
gonna have to do it
because we'll
again.
Clean it and then it's gonna.
Yeah.
have to be something.
Mm-hmm. And we maybe decide over the winter or whatever that we're gonna change something, so.
Right, and I think the biggest thing too is you never know what the storm's gonna do. And, because I mean, I think we were ready to go and then all those trees came down and that was just not happening.
Right.
And there's still all those logs in there, if I remember correctly, are they still out in the woods over there? Piled up here and there,
Which ones?
in the pines, like all the trees that were cut down and stacked up, are they still in there?
There weren't many there to begin with, but
Yeah.
haven't been there in about a month.
It might be the other side, there were some that I know still need to be removed, I don't know if those have been done.
One strategy for these grants too, they said, was to, you can get preliminary approval from Doug for a grant, and then you can go shop around, try to get more donations, or do more fundraising and get some more money
Mhm.
in the meanwhile, so that you've got more to work with.
Yeah.
Because typically, I think that they want you to say, okay, we've got $300,000, and then you'll go through the process of they'll match that. But there is a strategy where they said you can get preliminary approval, and that shows the community, this is the plan going forward, like we're committed to this, so let's go, let's.
And I think
Where
Missy
did
said there was a really easy, small one that, for trails.
Yeah.
That can be applied for, that basically does not require a lot, she said she could help you write it in like a week and submit it, so if you wanna be in touch with her about that, cause even where he's doing the trails, this will still help maybe even do more for signage or other things, or an offshoot from it as well. They have the trails down on the waterfront to help bring up and connect or something.
I think that one is gonna be tricky. The
Yeah.
trails that are right by the water with what you can and can't do and how.
I think that's what
with
you're
the
definitely
routes
gonna
you're
need
talking
an
about.
engineering company down there, because they know what, like Missy said, you can do that. Where it's all muddy on the way to the pines, you can put that, is it riprap or something down there?
Yeah, the little stone fjord, it's like put the rock down.
I think it's that at that point, I think anything water side basically is just you're gonna need an engineering company to reinvent and follow the rules and fix spots along both ways. And then when you get to the point where you wanna do more park expansion or add things to it, that's when you might want a landscape architect to look at the whole 160 acres, is my thought process.
Yeah.
You know, because all they're gonna do is go to an engineering company anyways. And I mean, Missy is a landscape architect in a sense. She has the same,
The landscape architect, yeah, I think so.
she already does that.
Yeah, we should definitely utilize her as
With
much as
more of a
possible.
focus on
too.
environmental aspect of it.
Which is still important,
That is
Yep.
very important.
you know,
Yep.
we will all want our kids to have that stuff down the road, and she's really good at recognizing her species too, that's for sure, so that's great.
Yeah.
So spring cleanup 2025. Wait till after the storms.
Yes, there's a recreational trails program grant.
Yep.
For existing and developing rehab of trailside and trailhead facilities.
Rehab.
Rehab,
And that is rehab of the trails we
Yeah.
have. That's what we would need.
creation, expansion, improvement of water trails,
Mm.
construction, restoration of boat landing infrastructure.
Because we talked about their use. Where was the boat launch?
The original proposed one was over by the,
JD?
yeah, it
What
was
do you
over
call
by, yeah, over by the jetty,
Oh, but on the way to the chapel. Okay.
on the way to the chapel.
Okay. How are they supposed to get into that road that comes in? Or were they gonna do another one?
Oh, they were gonna build a whole new road in parking lot.
And what happened to that again?
There was a lot of opposition from the neighbors and pretty much everybody on the pond didn't want to launch.
But it was mainly motorboats they didn't want, correct?
Correct, yeah. Yeah, we should still focus on improving for a hand carry, for
Yeah.
kayaks, canoes,
Yeah.
paddle boards, things like that. That should be a good focus as well.
So that should still be something we talk about and that when there would, and they had they mapped out how to do a road and parking in there or no?
I think there were drawing, it was, I think they carried it well through. And then, like you said, it got major opposition.
Yeah.
And Lindsay had sent us info on it. And it just went on and on and on. It was lengthy.
Oh, that's right, that big packet that someone
It
sent in,
sounded
right?
like there was real,
Yeah.
yeah,
Tension.
butting head,
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
There
I mean,
was a-
it's not a pond for water sports and ski jumps and, I mean, I think definitely kayaks and canoes and paddle boards would be
Mhm.
lovely
definitely.
down there.
And
Yeah,
I think,
down by the handicapped area would be the best location for that.
yeah,
So in the pines down that end, is that where? it
On that
was?
end of the pines, yeah.
Okay,
There's that little, just across the first bridge is that little inlet. I think would be
Okay,
a good
yeah.
Spot.
yeah,
it's
I'd
too
love
bad,
to
too,
see
that
a
you
full-time employee and a little shed there with some kayaks and canoes that you can
Oh,
rent.
paddleboards
That's what
that
I
you can
told
rent.
Jake
Yeah,
today.
just put a shed there, lock it up at night.
Exactly.
And a couple of grills.
Yeah,
Well, that can be
So,
rented out,
yeah,
exactly.
come rent this.
They're good, and that's where you can
Revenue.
make your money, when you're renting out, you know, life jackets and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, someone forgot their life jacket, needs one for their kid to swim, you know, their kid doesn't swim very well.
Is it possible to consider like a hand carry like that where you can access it early before 9? You know, because if I'm gonna hit the water before my kids get up, I like to go.
Is it locked?
It is.
That's something to consider, would be awesome if there was a little, I don't know how you get down there. But like at Kenny Bone Pond.
Yeah, well, that first route through the pines, I did a paddleboard yoga class through the Y, and we just drove down that road, parked there, and walked up paddleboards, and it was very short to walk paddleboards once you drove down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we had a family reunion down there, so we just drove in, dropped everything off, and then drove back out to park our cars, but, yeah, I think it's definitely looking at, again, better ways for people to get in there to access to these activities, because paddleboarding's really big right now too.
Yeah,
But it is a way even for someone who hasn't tried it to rent it for a day and try it. You know, and you can get really good deals on them. They come up all the time, like they're usually like, what, $250, and they had a deal at like $88. They had dropped them down for a day
what was that?
on Amazon.
Oh my God. A
It's like
stand-up paddleboard?
Mhm.
Is
Want
the
to try
deal done?
I don't know. I can look.
I would buy one for $88.
Me too.
So-
I want one
have
so
tried it,
bad.
I love it.
I want a blow up one.
Me too.
It's a blow up, it's blow up.
I want the one Cassie has.
Next time it's on sale, I'll.
Probably on sale right
Remember
now.
those two
It's
ladies
Prime
I told
Days.
you
It
to
is.
follow?
It is.
You know those two people
No.
I sent you on Facebook for like, I get all my school supplies and stuff?
No, I don't
You remember
remember.
that? I'll send you guys those links. It's my.
Oh, yes.
They had them on sale, so they
Yes.
had it, like you jump on it and they had paddle boards for $88.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'll send you guys a link and you just have to like their page and follow their stuff.
Oh.
It happens.
Yeah, I didn't spend $88 for mine.
Yeah. So anywho, but I mean, it was regular
So-
$250 and they have, and I will say, sometimes you can only get a certain color, so it wasn't the color I wanted, but for
Whatever.
$80, I
Yeah.
didn't care.
Who cares?
I was like, I can live with that. It doesn't have to be pink. So, all right, so I think that's everything. I think, if the opportunity is there to go ahead and make the contact and start the grant process, we have the money. I mean, is everyone in agreement that Holly should go ahead and try to double our money?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
So if you have the opportunity to do it,
Yeah.
just loop in the town
See what they
manager with
say.
it. And say, I'm on this committee, I've copied our town manager, we're doing this, we want to apply for this grant,
Mhm.
and let's do it. I don't think we need to talk about it anymore,
Mm-mm.
May, steer me in another direction and say, this one might be more appropriate. for you."
Correct. But like the waterfront rehab for trails is fantastic, and then like I said, if we can do that, or if there's another one that goes along with getting the engineering to kind of take care of our soggy bottom issue. And the trail, and like, just to have a nice welcoming trail coming down would be really nice. To have that opened up and having it look pretty and,
Mhm.
a little mulch on the side and
Yeah.
maybe some blueberry bushes or something that are bird friendly. And kid friendly, because what kid doesn't want to eat the blueberry on the way down? Something like that just kind of is welcoming. So, all right, I can't think of anything else. I didn't, it was a short agenda and, anything else we needed to kind of go over or think about? I'm still gonna put on here restrooms, because that's still a bee in my bonnet. Restrooms and changing stations are still a bee in my bonnet. Because it'd be nice if there was a changing station down below and not on top of the hill. It'd make a heck of a lot more sense. Same with that, but that one, like, you don't wanna use it. That one's gonna.
I just saw something I highlighted in that grant
Mhm.
information. It says no minimum award level, but applicants considering requests of 20,000 or less should discuss their project concepts with the grant manager before applying. So that might be something that they say, I think our 20 grand would be minimum.
Mhm.
It would need some.
Yeah, but maybe they have
it might be
ideas.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
But yeah, maybe they have
I hadn't
ideas that
noticed
would
that
work
before.
with.
Yeah.
I think,
Bunganut was acquired using the same grant.
yeah, I think just making that contact and just starting the revving the engine up, is that to get it going so we can have some, again, tangible, visible things hopefully done by this fall. The trail system's gonna be fabulous. And I think, again, getting the area come down and looking nice, then trickle out on the sides. Boat launch, being very respectful of the people on the lake and their views on it and the right way to do it. I think we're all in agreement, no motor, anything, unless maybe the tiny solar ones for canoe. But nothing that makes waves. All right. All right, so I'll just put a note that Holly's gonna start reaching out. And again, I know Joe has connections with people in the State House, one of our representatives, I think he's pretty close with him, so I'm sure Joe would not mind you reaching out to him for help. For grant writing, I guess that's what he did.
Yeah.
So.
Should utilize that.
And his connections, if he can help anyone, swing anything our way for grants and funding for
Excellent.
Bunganut Park. You have his email address?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I'd reach out to him. And I'm sure he'd even meet with you if you wanted to go over stuff.
yeah.
We could ask him to
Yeah,
come to a
he's
meeting.
actually asked me a couple times to meet him out there to discuss what.
Maybe he could come to a meeting with us and go over, we can talk about it and get his, once he knows what grants we're going for, and he can maybe help us.
I think most of these grants require that you have a selectman as a liaison to the,
We had one and now we don't, so we do need a liaison, so we've got to,
oh, right, for the board itself.
right, we don't have it anymore, so I'll mention that too. Need a liaison.
The chair of the board of selectmen would be the project sponsor point of contact and serve as the project.
The chair, so Jess?
Oh,
I don't think
for
it
other applicants, it
matters.
could be the town manager.
Yeah, I don't think it has to be the chair.
That's what this says.
That's crazy.
Reading off the interweb. Actually, it was an email I got.
So I'll put on here, I mean, it would be nice if we had a liaison that could go back to the board, so we don't have to constantly
Yeah.
do all that stuff either, but I mean, I give reports to Lindsay on all this as well. But I think someone that can help her as questions come up, or like say grant writing, or if things need to be submitted. I can't imagine that'd be a heck of a lot, but I put that on there as a question mark anyways, and see what, how they wanna do it. Right. I'll save this. Where am I saving it? I don't know anymore. Anything else? Let me find out where I'm saving it. I have too many computers. All right, so I think other things to figure out when our next meeting can happen. If everyone wants to pull up their phones. Summers are so hard, and I know that.
Mhm.
Where are we now? Today is the 16th. Do we want to aim for like August 6th? Does that work for anybody? That gives us 2.5, 3 weeks. Do you want that soon? 3 weeks.
Seems soon.
You want the 13th? Tuesday seems to work for people.
Yeah,
I'm
Tuesday's
gone
later.
that week, but if everyone else can make it.
It's football.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
I know, that's what I mean.
Starts that week.
Oh, it starts that week?
Mhm.
Aiden's still debating. He's not sure he's playing.
No?
No, he's going back and forth, so. And practices are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, right?
This year, well, that week it's every day, and the next week it's every day.
Oh, geez, that's right. First 2 weeks is every day.
Yeah.
That's a fudge.
Actually, it's the first 3 weeks. I think it's every day.
Is there practice Monday?
That week, there's every day.
Does the 8th work for
Those
anybody?
catch
Because that
rides.
gives us like almost 4 weeks.
Concert in the park.
That's what the
Yeah.
bar is right.
Yeah.
Whichever. If you want to do that next week, whatever we can.
Well, no, if the first 2 weeks.
I don't need to go to practice.
What?
Yeah,
I don't have to go.
yeah,
So do you want to try to aim for the 13th then?
sure.
I mean,
Sure.
we all know you guys probably still make practice if you leave here, so.
I don't need to go to practice.
Same.
Okay,
I just need to make sure Brady can watch Grace. That's all.
bring her. She can hang out. I can,
You don't want her in here.
well, if Aiden's not playing, I'll bring him and he can play with her. There you go. Bunganut on the 13th.
I will be there just so you can make that note.
Okay, yeah. Kevin, you good with that?
Yes.
Okay.
15th?
Yep, the 13th at 6:15 again, if that's okay with you guys.
Mhm.
It's just hard, like I literally got home for 5 minutes, threw something else on and ran out the door.
Mhm.
I can't wear pants anymore, it's too hot.
I didn't even change.
All right, and then next meeting. At 6:15. Okay. All right, that was pretty awesome, guys. I think we're underway, and that gives us time to maybe hear back from engineering firms and maybe have some progress of things that are gonna happen, and I'm sure I can, like I said, get a free walkabout with somebody, and hopefully they can do it, like from an engineering company to come out,
Oh, yeah.
and go from there. So I guess we're good to adjourn. Everyone good?
Good.
All right.